George Tabb, Life Without Limits Coaching and Counseling. And today I want to talk to you about an area that's a little sensitive. And it's I don't need no therapy. And it's why people don't go to therapy. And I'm going to give about 7 of what I believe to be are some of the top reasons why people don't go to therapy. And so I'm going to start out with number 1. And so number 1 is, I don't need any help. I can do this all by myself. You know, I heard Einstein said that the same mind that created the problem is not the same mind that's going to solve the problem. And so I believe that's an underestimation of how much help. You know, sometimes you get knocked down. Sometimes you have situations, challenges. You get knocked down and it's difficult to get back up. Most people can probably get back up by themselves, but some people can't. And we have people like that in our family. We work with people like that, and you may be that person. So point number 2, I'm not crazy. I don't need no therapy because I ain't crazy. And you know what? Which brings me to point number 3. I believe, and I know sometimes in the African American community, if you're going to see a therapist, then you must be crazy. But you know what? Nobody says nothing about the drug addict. Okay? Because a lot of times before drugs comes mental illness. All right? And so nobody says nothing about, you know, the person who indulges in a lot of sex. Okay? Nobody says nothing about the person that always spends all their money and their accounts are overdrafted all the time. Okay, nobody says something. And then I've heard people say, well, yeah, I knew they were depressed. I knew there was something wrong with him or something wrong with her, or I knew they just got real nervous in crowds and I knew there was something weird about them. But you know what, ladies and gentlemen, we would rather be weird sometimes. We would rather deal with those. We would rather deal with overeating. We would rather be morbidly obese than to be crazy, because I ain't crazy. Okay? So that was number 3. Number 3 was sex, drugs, and spending, and overeating. Number 4 is I can talk to my pastor. And you know what? You can talk to your pastors. And there are a lot of great pastors out there. And there are a lot of great pastors that are great therapists and great counselors. Okay? But a therapist is someone who you can confide in. You don't have to worry about it going anywhere else. And that's all they do. They're an expert in talking to people, in solving problems, in helping people through challenging times. Okay? So point number 5, that doesn't really bother me. It has nothing to do with the way I feel. You know, I call that confusion. And confusion only leads to frustration. But you know what? It's almost like being in denial. Okay? And so, you know, if the same thing is happening to you over and over and over again, if this is your 3rd marriage, you know what? Maybe you need to take a look at yourself. Maybe there's something that you're not doing. You know, if you've got fired from 2 jobs, you know what? Maybe there's something that you're doing. Okay? Maybe there's something that needs to be closely examined. Okay? All right. So we were on number 5, right? So number 6 is tomorrow. Things that get better tomorrow. And you know what? That's procrastination. You know, insanity is doing the same thing but expecting different results. You know, if you want something different, then you've got to do something different. If you want something you've never had, then you've got to become someone that you've never been. Number 7 is I don't want a stranger in my business. Well, you know what, ladies and gentlemen? That's just being uneducated. Therapists, coaches are bound by confidentiality. Ethically, they're unable to talk about what's being talked about specifically with that particular individual. And so, ladies and gentlemen, listen, maybe I'll get an opportunity to meet you down the road, but listen, God bless you. Take charge, take control, and take a chance.